yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for watching this video and taking the tour on my channel. It really means a lot to me, and the reason why I wanted to make a Q&A is because I have a lot of questions about all the same topics, and maybe if I do a video, some of those questions will go away. Nothing against those questions, but like, there you have it. It's in the video, so you don't have any excuses. Yeah, so that's part of the reason why I want to do a Q&A. Next one is maybe you guys want to have a little behind the scenes of what's going on, and maybe you want to see what I look like. No, I'm not 40 years old, I'm 22, so deal with it. I have a lot of RC cars and trucks that don't make it into videos just because I'm scared that you won't see it because you want to see snowmobiles and you don't care about all the stuff. But well, with what's going on about YouTube recently, I don't think I'm gonna have much of a choice, and I'm probably gonna have to show them to you. It's not bad projects, it's just not snowmobiles. So yeah, recently you've seen like a big DIY truck that was their cheap truck, I believe, or something like that. That's part of the projects I have going. I also have a bunch of other stuff, but you don't see it. So again, I would like to thank everyone for passing on my channel. It really means a lot to me. All I want to say is that I really enjoy what you guys are like interested in what I'm doing, and I'm glad you guys enjoy my content. I was not expecting a lot of feedback from you guys. Like when I first started, I put up my video and I was like, well, that's me breaking my face on the ground skiing, and I was like, well, I don't expect much, but the main reason I put it there was because fire army was a thing back then. I guess it still is, but it was big for me, and I was like, I would like to be on there, but I didn't put my video as common creative, so they never took it. So, well, there you have it. When I first started, my channel was in high school. I had one of my classes that required me to do some kind of a project related to what I like. So what I did was I took all the electronics from an existing RC car and I put it all in a custom chassis made out of wood. So it went as good as you would expect from a wood chassis. It was not very good, but I was super proud of it, and I still have some parts of it just because nostalgia, I guess. But fun fact, when I put it in forward, it would go forward, and when I put it in reverse, it would still go forward, but faster. So I don't know. Don't ask me why. That was my first project, but it wasn't really what I considered to be the most, like, the best RC I did. So the next one I did was when I was in college, first year. I had a little bit more, I would say, buying power, but like, I had an RC car that was pretty cheap, and I saw some electronics that would fit inside with like an 18th scale motor brushless. So I was like, oh well, that could fit in there. And that thing was a beast. I don't have any videos of it, sadly, but like, it was wheeling all the time, and I have something that looks a little bit like what it was, but I don't, I can show you. This is probably what got me into RC cars. This truck was my grandparents' one, and it was in the sandbox for a few years, so it's all beat up and all that. And my plan was to restore it. Well, let's just say it didn't work at all. I managed to fix the cab at some points, but yeah, it's just like an icon for now. I made the bumper back and some lights and all that, but it truly was a monster. Like, the battery was in the trunk, and when I did give it gas, it would wheelie all the time. It was a beast until I stripped all the gears and the steering wouldn't work and all. I just scrapped it and wanted to put in something else, and I think I do have a video about that. I'll try to post it. If not, it's all good. So next one was another monster truck that was it was a little bit like this one, and there's a video on my channel about that one. This one was quite a beat up, to be honest. It was, I think it was my first compilation about RC cars. Yeah, it's not crazy, but for the time. 4-wheel drive, brushless. For what I was expecting, it was quite good. But eventually it didn't work too good, so I had to scrap it. That's where I started from. I also got my first truck, which was a Traxxas 3.3. But the important thing is that that truck had reverse, 2-speed gears, and it was like the golden age of Traxxas, I would say. I really enjoyed that truck. I still have it, but I don't have much time to put into it since it's gasoline. It's more complicated, but alright, so that's a little bit about my past. What about the future now? Well, YouTube has been quite weird right now. Like, I don't know, you've probably heard about the algorithm that's mixing up everything. Like, I don't do as much views as I was. That's possible, that's not totally because of YouTube, but, well, I see quite a gap. So there's that, and there's also every channel that is under 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours, they won't be making money. So I'm very close to that. I'm close to 1,000 and I'm close to 4,000, but I'll stop making money off YouTube. That's where I'm going. However, I'm still gonna make videos, but I have some plans about making a little bit of money. I don't know if you guys want to cooperate with me. I don't want to make a Patreon because I think that's dumb. Like, I don't want people to throw money at me. Well, if you want to, I'm fine with it, but what I would like to do is I would like to make plans. The plans I'm making for the RMK, the A-arms and the running boards and transmissions and all that. As of now, all those were free, and they're still gonna be free, but I'm planning on maybe making a completely new sled from top to bottom. Like make an RMK, all the shape, the hull, the cover, like everything. And then that snowmobile, you can replicate it too because it's a AutoCAD. So if you have a 3D printer or if you use a 3D printer company, you can print it and send it to them and they'll print it for you and you can have it. So we're not going to be depending on New Bright for releasing snowmobiles and Yamaha Viper or something. That's my goal. I would like to have a snowmobile that's 3D printable and then you can have when you want and you can make parts for it if you break it or something. However, if you would like to cooperate with me, I would really enjoy it. If you have knowledge in AutoCAD, I would really like to have you working with me. So there's that. Alright, so I would like to put something right away in front of us, and that's, is the RMK for sale? The answer short is no. When I say short, that's because I've reached a point where I'm limited by everything. Like, it's not super crazy powerful. But don't get me wrong, like, you haven't seen it yet, but I ripped the track once again. So, the track is the weak point. For now, I'm having it, but if I would have to sell it right now, I would be pretty much around between, like, I don't know, 600 to 800 bucks, give or take, with the electronics and all that. Just because of the time I put in it, it's not really worth it, but that's a question I receive quite a bit, so there's that. Any thoughts on the Yamaha Viper? Well, I think it's a great sled. I know somebody that has one that's live close to me, and it's not a bad sled, to be honest, but there's nothing to brag about it. Like, the suspension in the back is awfully hard, and you're gonna be stuck in the snow all the time. And like, don't get me wrong, these sled too, but also that model is the one that's currently available. If you have 100 bucks, well, you can buy one. Maybe I'll buy one someday to mod it, but I wouldn't bet on that. If I stumble across one that's used, I'll probably buy it and try to modify it, but unless somebody sends me one, I'm probably not gonna buy one. About the tracks of the RC snowmobiles. Probably seen that one rip quite a bit, and some people asked, why does it, like, how do you manage to make the track not slip? The answer is, I 3D printed one of these. This is a drive drum, I guess. that's the name. If you look at the standard one, it's like this. Like, well, this is a modified one, but yeah, you see all these cock drives that you've probably seen in the past. I made it bigger so you have more tooth at the same time, and also I made the walls thinner on the sides so you don't have snow build up there that's preventing the strap from having a good grip. So this is probably my 4th attempt of making one, and this is not the final one. The final one is on the sled, and it's killing it. I mean, you wouldn't believe how much of a difference it makes. At almost full throttle, you have full response, and at the very last moment, it slips a tiny bit, but that's probably because the track is getting bigger and bigger. So I've seen people use these in the past before. These are the Integy snow conversion for a Summit and a T-Max. And these are amazingly big. Like, look at them. This is the standard track, and well, you see the difference right now. Like, yeah, unless I have a 1/8 scale brushless motor or 1/5 scale, like those things are gonna be tough to spin the speed. But I still have 2 of them because I picked them at a discount, but I'm probably only gonna need 1. I don't know. I'll see what I do with this. I also have those. These are 2 parts urethane rubber mold parts, and plan on mixing it with this, which is drywall patches. I don't know what you call them, but basically I want to do like that one guy online that made a custom track. Yeah, that's the plan, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it just yet. The last thing about my Q&A that I can think of right now is why do you have no rider on your snowmobile? Well, the short answer is because when they were new, there was no rider with them. And I don't want to make one because I don't think it's going to look too good. But I also want you, like, that's my way of saying it. I want you guys to, like, feel like you're the one on the snowmobile. It's easier to do when, like, it's FPV, but, like, if I'm doing wheelies and jumps and all that, I would like to be the one on the snowmobile. Just because I like snowmobiles, but like, that's the way I see it. If you don't see a rider, it's not like, oh, he's the one riding. But if there's no rider, it's like, oh, maybe I'm the one riding. But maybe I'm just fucked up and you guys don't care about that. But oh well. Okay, so while we're at it, I can show you some of the projects that never made it into videos fully, or not yet, I don't know. Well, I could start by the one you've seen. You've probably seen this one, so I'm just gonna go over it real quick, but this is basically a stock Rush, apart from the electronics are modified and the steering knuckles as well. The track is basic, but it has this part, transmission, but apart from that, all of it is pretty basic. The RMK, well, there's a whole series about it, so I don't think I'm gonna go in details about it. However, you have not seen probably this block right here. That's because it was designed to hold this battery, which is a 3800 milliamp hour. It was supposed to go a little bit like this, and it was under the seat, so it was just a stand to hold it, and it kind of looked like the standard deal. But this battery is 2S, and now I'm running 3S, and that's part of the reason why that thing is stripped, so yeah. The next big project that I showed to my channel was Project Threader, but now Project Threader is a little bit die right now. All the frame, the parts, the electronics, they're like tearing apart. I still have all of it. I didn't take too much measurements and calculations, so there's a lot of holes at places that shouldn't have holes, and the frame was somewhat straight, but the body post had to compensate for the height of where it was, and the bumper was not straight, and like, it was nice looking on the exterior, but in the interior, well, oh boy. It handled well, to be honest. I was quite surprised on how low standard it was for how cheap it was to make, I guess. But it was my attempt at making Cyclone XC trophy truck, but I guess it did what it had to do, and it was a nice truck. I enjoyed it. But next project is the RC tank. You have seen probably one video about it, and it was only the turret. This time I had made all of the gearing and transmissions about it. So you have final drive and all the gears, the motor with all the reductions, differential right there. So depending on what side you're braking, that's the side you're turning. To be simpler, it would have to be 2 motors, but I don't like the idea of having 2 ESCs. They're not the same, not at the same speed. For the turret, well, maybe you have seen it, maybe you don't. But basically you have a barbecue starter, and then you have a lighter parts that's firing fire right there. Not at this wire, but it's igniting the fuse, and then the gun shoots. And you can also adjust the height of the gun, and so if you give power to this thing, you raise the gun, and if you give power to this thing, it fires the gun. So that's pretty simple. Also, I really like this muzzle brake. I think it looks good. So again, I would like to thank you all for watching this video. I know it's a long video to compare to what I usually do, but I hope you like what you've seen. If you have any questions, you can ask them below. I will answer, except if you ask for questions that I've already answered in this video, I won't answer. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.